I assume you would have seen it from either the thumbnail or the title, what this video is about. I'm going to a... Let me shut this up, hold on. I'm going to a Canon Australia event in Sydney tonight to go check out the brand new cameras that they're announcing and lenses as well, which is pretty exciting. It's been buzzing online with rumors on all the rumor websites, so it's pretty fun to, well, to watch this live stream right now, but to also go and have a look at all the new stuff that's being announced. So let's leave the office and let's go to the event.
For me, photography is at its finest when you're pushing the limits.
Yeah, no, what's he got this set as?
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, give me that. Let's get it. It's unnatural. Oh God.
The presentations are done. I've held the camera. I've seen some lenses. It's really nice. I haven't shot with it though. I'm here with my dear enemy. Sorry, my dear friend. Jared Sang, and
yes.
we'll ask him. Jesus Christ, the hair. Oh, the hair gets stuck everywhere.
I thought you were doing like a wrist. Look how much movement I have in my wrist. Oh,
No, it's that hand.
Whatever.
Couple of questions. I'm actually going to change the camera because I can't hold it. Jared, you were in Japan recently.
Yeah.
How's Japan?
Japan was...
Skip Japan. How's the camera?
Yeah, good that you skipped it because I didn't see Japan at all. I was there for...
I'm so sorry about the sound. I thought it was more quiet here. Yeah.
There's another one.
Here's fine. Here's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a shotgun.
Maybe go... Yeah, I don't know. Or in there.
Toilets.
Is that the toilet? Is that the toilet?
It's fine. It's a shotgun
Okay.
mic. It'll be great.
Okay.
So, you used the camera for quite a few days. What's the
One day.
Wow,
One day.
Only one day?
24 hours, that was the deal.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, did you like it?
I loved it.
What do you usually shoot with?
I usually shoot with a 5D Mark IV
Yeah.
and a Mark III.
Does this equal the 5D4 in terms of using it and the quality? Is it the same? Is it complementary? How would you describe it?
I would say it's complementary. They're quite different. So it's not like you would grab the EOS R to replace your 5D. It's more like you have it next to the 5D for different situations.
Did you shoot much video with it?
I didn't really get the chance. It was so crazy. They gave me the camera and then said, all right, go shoot. And I was like trying to fiddle around. I was like, I don't know, there's sparks flying at me. My hair was literally burning. They should have showed more of that stuff in the film because I copped it.
Yeah.
My skin was just on fire from all these flames. Anyway, I forgot what the question was.
I forgot. I don't do interviews usually. I'm a vlogger, not an interviewer.
No, it was super fun. Super
yeah.
lightweight, flip screen, like totally different than 5D. That's what I mean when it doesn't replace it.
Yeah.
Because it's for different
but similar image quality.
things.
I was really hoping to
Yeah.
get some video stuff from you, like opinions on video, because a lot of people are interested in that. But you know, as it turns out, Jared's the wrong guy to talk to about that. So
sorry. All right, well, fine. I mean, I can talk. Hey, I was on Survivor. Did you? Hey, did you know that last year I was on
we'll do
Survivor?
something else.
Say Berkey.
Hello everybody and welcome to the morning after. Today's a busy day. I've got a big time-lapse shoot on later, but I want to get this video out there ASAP, obviously, because it is always good to jump on the hype train when a new camera is coming out and you have a bit of content of that camera. So first off, thank you Canon for having me at that event. That was really cool. It's always an honor to be at these things and to get to see both the people that were involved in the development of a new system, as well as, you know, seeing launch trailers, and then actually holding the camera and seeing the new lenses and being able to play with it and shoot with it, even though we couldn't put a memory card in the camera because it's a prototype, or I don't know. It's still cool. This bit of the video is giving you my opinion, answering some of the questions that I've gotten through Instagram and Twitter, because there's quite a few. Obviously, it's not a full-on camera review because the camera's not out and we can't actually analyze any of the photos or videos that were shot with the camera. So I'm going to give you a list, you know, the things I love about it, the things I don't like about it, and a bit of my, you know, I guess opinion as a time-lapse photographer on whether or not this camera is a good tool for me, and whether you should get it over a DSLR or not, because that's one of the questions that appeared over and over again. So let's get into it, the positives. Biggest positive, obviously, is the fact that we now finally have a full-frame mirrorless Canon camera. For people that have wanted a mirrorless camera but that don't want to switch brands, that don't want to go to another brand, that's so good. I don't really have a need, I think, for a mirrorless camera, but the fact that Canon now offers it is great. What also comes with that is the fact that Canon's developed this not only as a mirrorless camera, but they developed it around the highest image quality possible, hence all the new lenses, and hence the R system. So it's not just the new camera, it's the whole system behind it, which was a big focus yesterday at the event, and something I definitely see in the development of all the new glass with the new connection points and the ergonomics and stuff. It's pretty cool to see where this tech's going. I think we're off to a great start with this first model, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for these full-frame Canon mirrorless series. I still can't believe I get to say it and it being an actual thing. Secondly, I touched on it earlier, the ergonomics. The camera feels really good in your hand, which can be a challenge when you're trying to downsize cameras. I don't love gripping a really small camera that still has a bit of weight on it because of the glass and stuff. It fit my hand real nicely. My pinky didn't fall off at the bottom of the battery. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to put a battery grip on there so you can make it bigger, but then are you defeating the point of having a mirrorless camera? I don't know. Anyways, I was glad to see and to feel that the design of the camera was really, really great. The battery is the LPE6N, which is the same as the LPE6, so you can use your old batteries in there. You can keep your same charger if you're traveling with a 5D3 or a 5D4 or whatever. You don't have to change chargers and bring extra cables. It all fits in there. Those LP6 batteries are great. I use them obviously in my other cameras as well. As a time-lapse photographer, they go on forever. So I'm pretty stoked, and I'm pretty sure that we'll have a great battery life in this camera if you're a time-lapse shooter. The flip and touch screen that we've come to love so much on the 62 and on other cameras as well. It's really responsive, it's really clear. The fact that it flips out in any direction means that you can shoot from any direction and still have a look at what you're shooting, which honestly, I have the 1DX, I'm shooting on it right now. I miss it so damn much. All the new glass that's been announced, it's 2018 now. The fact that new lenses are coming out means that these lenses will last way into the future, that they'll be able to resolve many, many megapixels. I think older glass has difficulties resolving, you know, 30, 40, 50 megapixels. The fact that the 2870 is so big means that it must all be engineered quite well, and it must resolve all these pixels, I'm sure. So it's always exciting to get new glass. 10-bit 422 video, maybe a bit techie for you all, but basically what it means is that you can color grade your footage much better because there is more information embedded in there. It is less compressed, so you will not see as many artifacts when you're trying to push the boundaries of your color grading. You can shoot in harsher scenes, more challenging conditions, and still end up with really great footage. We've got 4K video. Yes, there is a crop that will go in the negatives, but it's there 4K up to 30 frames a second with Canon log. Again, this goes to the image quality. It means that you have a wider dynamic range because it is shooting it as a less contrasty shot, I guess. Because it is shooting it in a less contrasty way. That's a really simple explanation. Pretty much, I'm happy that it's there. I don't have it on the 1DX sadly, which is the flagship, but it is in the new EOS R, so that's good. The electronic viewfinder, a lot of people that have been shooting mirrorless for a while claim that is one of the key benefits of shooting mirrorless is the fact that you can see from the viewfinder exactly what your photo is going to look like when you shoot, before you shoot it. So we've got that now. We've had it in other cameras, you know, in the APS-C sized mirrorless cameras, but the fact that we now have it on a full frame is good. It was really responsive, really crisp. I'm sure that in daylight, when it's really harsh outside, even though I assume the LCD is really bright, you can, you know, hold your eye up to the EVF and have a look at what you're shooting or review your images, and it's yeah, it's nice to have that for sure. I don't know how it impacts battery life, but I assume that's all covered. Maybe a bit of a weird positive, not the new camera, not the new lenses, the fact that Canon has developed an entire new system, the R system. They focused on that quite a lot last night, which makes me think that they're taking this really seriously. They acknowledged, if you read between the lines of some of the speeches, they acknowledged that it took a while to get there to launch this full frame mirrorless camera and glass and the system that is EOS R. But it is exciting to see what they've brought out now, and Canon doesn't half-ass things. They take a while to develop things. Like, I was really frustrated with how long it took to get time-lapse modes into cameras, but once they're in there, they work flawlessly, and that's the whole thing. That's why it takes a while to develop things, because it gets tested and tested and tested, and when it's out there, it works. It's not buggy like some other firmwares in other brands. So yeah, we got a whole new camera system that will keep on expanding, and it is compatible with all the old lenses, obviously, via these 3 adapters where you can put in ND filters or other filters, have the control ring on there that is enabling a new way of shooting, because the control ring on those lenses, I had a really short play with it yesterday. I don't know if I would use it much. I think it's once you have it, you'll find a use for it and you'll start using it a lot. And that is, yeah, it's cool. It's a new way of controlling your camera and I dig it. And then finally, it's not the camera or the glass, it's everything combined. It's the fact that Canon has developed an entirely new system, and they really double down on that in some of the speeches. They're really proud of this development that admittedly took a while to get there, but now that it's here, they're excited about it. They're gonna keep pushing, bringing out new tech that goes along with this system. It is all compatible with the older lenses and stuff, so that's really cool. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I feel like this is a new era of Canon gear, really, that's coming at us, so that's always fun. Those are my main positives. Let's have a quick look at some of the negatives. The first thing that I noticed was the price of some of the new lenses was pretty damn steep. Granted, yes, there's a lot of new tech in there, and I'm sure that they're, you know, really, really great, but it was quite shocking to see the price of, for example, that 2870 lens. When you look at the lens, it's absolutely massive. The 2870 is huge. You can't deny it. It's a beast. I'm sure the images are great, but yeah, it's kind of, you want to go mirrorless, or some people want to go mirrorless to get a smaller camera and a lighter system, and then you plonk a huge lens on there. So does it defeat the purpose? I don't know. There's only one SD slot on the side of this camera, which I'm a bit disappointed by. I wish I had 2 slots in there. The 4K video has a 1.6 times crop. I think it's the same or maybe a bit less as the 5D4. It's not ideal. You can work around it, but it's not ideal. If it was 1.3, that would have been better, but hey, at least we have 4K video, right? The lack of 100 or 120 frames per second in full HD is slightly disappointing. I don't know when we'll get to see that on more cameras. Currently it's on the 1DX2, which is just very, very expensive and big and bulky, and I don't know what is limiting Canon from putting that in other DSLR cameras. I'd love to have it. I'd love to have a smaller, lighter system than the 1DX, but sadly there's no 120 FPS in the EOS R. Some people have been calling out the price. I think, as with any new tech, it's quite fair, and also you got to keep in mind that these cameras last for years and years. Looking at my 5D3, this is just a personal anecdote. It was rated, you know, between 150 to 250k clicks. It's now at 600 or 700,000 clicks on this one camera. Has never had a mirror box replacement. It's only ever been cleaned. It hasn't even been serviced, and it's shooting flawlessly. That's the thing. Like, it's high quality. It'll last you for a while. So if you spread out the cost of that machine over, you know, X amount of years, I think that's pretty fair still. A couple of questions I have. It shoots 4K, there's a lot of talk about, you know, 10-bit 422 video. Does it have 4K video out via HDMI, and is the HDMI out clean? So, you know, are there overlays or not? You can feel there's more of a focus on video, but I don't know if that's included in this camera. I really hope it is, because that opens up a whole new world of possibilities where you can shoot with external monitors and actually record footage on those monitors, because it is a very clean, very high quality signal coming out of the camera to your external recorder. Don't know much about the dynamic range. A lot of people have been asking about it. The thing with dynamic range and a lot of these other stats, to me, it is all a bit heavy online. Criticism. Wow, people go crazy over specs, and I get it, but I'm also kind of like, use it in real life and see if it's usable for you, see if it suits your needs. Just because this camera has better specs on paper doesn't mean that it is a better camera for you. So please always keep that in mind. And I wish there was less clickbaity stuff online already. Days ago, one of the big photo websites put up an article that said why Canon has already failed the mirrorless, or the full frame mirrorless whatever. And I'm just like, you haven't even used it. There was so much criticism. This is a great example. There was so much criticism and hate on the 62 online, and still is. People call it the, you know, failed blah 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 whatever. Then it does pick up a price in Europe for the best DSLR that's on the market. that came out on the market this year, and personally I bought a 62 and then I bought another one because to me it is one of the best cameras that is out there. Personally, I think it's a great camera. The photos are great, the usability is great, the ergonomics, the battery life, all this stuff, plus it has all the cool 4K movie mode time-lapse stuff in there. It is ideal. It is my ideal camera, and that's why I've got two. Another question, I don't know about the right speeds to these cards that you put on the side. Yes, you can put all the fast SD cards in there, but what's the right speed like? I don't know, it's a bit slow on the 62 and it annoys me sometimes, especially coming from a CFast 2.0 card in the 1DX. I hope it's good. That's it for the pros and the cons. Now, here's my honest opinion about this camera. I'm really excited about it. I really want to try it. I'm not sure if it's the right fit for me. I have a few issues with mirrorless cameras, such as how easy it is to get your sensor really dirty. Battery life might be an issue because of the electronic viewfinders. But the thing that gets me most excited is the fact that, as I could tell from the Canon people yesterday at the event, they're really excited about this new system. They're not focusing on just the camera, they're talking about a new imaging system. And that's cool. Innovation is always good, even though they did acknowledge it took them a while to get this on the market, but I'm just happy it's here. Again, I don't want to move away from Canon. I don't want to switch brands to something else and get in trouble not only with selling all the gear that I have now, but also having to learn a new system and having to get used to bad menus and bad firmware. I like Canon, clearly. I'm wearing a red jumper. I really like the brand, I like the lenses, I like the people behind it, I like the way they operate as a business. I don't want to switch, and the fact that I can now go for a Canon full-frame mirrorless camera because it's on the market, that is good. I'm excited. I can't wait to give it a proper full-on review, shoot photos with it and see how it performs. Shoot video with it. Last night I stole the camera from someone that was using it because I forgot to check in the menus if it had 4K time-lapse movie mode, which it does with all the advanced functions in there. So it might be a really good side time-lapse camera. It won't be replacing my 1DX2 for certain shoots, but it might replace my 62, or I might just get one and see what it can do alongside the 62 and the 1DX2. I guess we'll find out very soon when I get my hands on one for a full review. Now we're nearing the end here. My conclusion of this camera from holding it for a few minutes last night as a time-lapse photographer, which is my unique angle of reviewing any gear really, is I think it's going to be a great camera for this. It's going to be a nice side piece with great video features. The battery life's probably going to be pretty good. It's got all the time-lapse movie modes built in, so that's exciting. Again, don't know if it's going to replace the cameras, but I'm sure it's going to be a great side piece, and I'm just excited about the new system. Here we are now at the end of the video. I'd love to hear your opinions. Give me all the heat. Give me your flames. Give me your fire. I want positives. I want negatives. I want to hear your whatever it is. Just drop a comment down below. It's good to be back here, by the way. I've really missed making videos. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking it out all the way through the end. Join me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Metros pretty much everywhere. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.